Hi everyone, this is Deacon Lee Nguyen. Welcome to the first rendition of Food for the Journey. This week we enter into the 19th Sunday of Ordinary Time, Cycle A. And before I jump straight into the message, let us peel back and remind ourselves of what happened last week in the Gospel. Does anybody remember? No? Maybe this picture will help. Yes, it's the feeding with the 5,000, where Jesus takes just two fishes and 5 loaves, and he feeds 5,000 men, not including women and children. Now, is this just his promotion of welfare and social ministry? No. What he's doing is that he points to himself and reminds us that just as God the Father fed the people of Israel in the manna, he is now the bread from heaven. And of course, it points to the future where he will institute the Eucharist, where he feeds us himself. And so that's the major event in Jesus' life and ministry, which brings us to today, where Jesus himself, what do we do? Yes, he walks on water. Amidst the storm, he's able to conquer nature. And not only that, but when he invites Peter to come out of the boat to walk with him, and when Peter's able to do so, but as soon as Peter sinks, he's able to pull Peter up and saves his life, not only his physical life, but also his spiritual life. And so it should bring to mind Genesis chapter 1, where God not only sets to order, creates the universe, but sets to order what is chaos and put it back into normalcy. And he's the master of life, not only physical life, but spiritual life. And so these are two major events which points to Jesus' life and divinity. And so squished right between these two major events is what we might consider a throwaway verse, if you will, but it's the central message of the reflection today. And that verse is, after he's done all this, after he sent his disciples away, he went up to the mountain to pray by himself. Now, why does he need to take a moment to pray? Is it because he needs to take a break from all this activity, just like I do for my children, and have a glass of wine, a moment of self-care, if you will? Possibly. Or is it the fact that he's going up there to make sure that he's fighting his own human nature, the temptation of glorifying himself? Hey, Jesus, you're so wonderful. And fighting the temptation that people may carry him off to be the king, which takes him away from his mission in life. Or perhaps he went up to pray to make sure that his spiritual battery, just like our phone, needs to be replugged into the Holy Spirit to make sure that we have enough to live on and enough to give away. Or perhaps he knows that each day, each time that he shows his divinity or claims to be the Son of God, he's taken one step closer to the cross, one step closer to his own death. And maybe he's taking a moment to make sure that he has enough courage to take that step forward. Or maybe he's taken a moment away to pray to make sure that he's trying to discern what's the voice of the media at his time. What are the people around him saying? What's the voice of the world? And silencing that and making sure he's able to distinguish what's the voice of his own Father. And so that is the challenge for all of us, ladies and gentlemen, is to enter into the silence of the Lamb, if you will, into the silence of Jesus, to make sure that we are walking forward with him, in him, and having him in us, and directing us rather than ourselves.